All the Colts had to do to make the playoffs was go into Jacksonville and beat a 2-14 Jacksonville Jaguars team, which did not happen. This Jaguars team absolutely did not dominated the Colts when the Colts really needed to come up with the win the most. Winning in, couldn't do it. Interim head coach, 2-14, the team with the number one overall pick, can't get it done. Is it coaching? Is it Carson Wentz? Is it defense? We're going to talk about it here in a moment. I'd like to welcome you to the JDW Sports Talk Show where every fan is welcome. And today we're going to be recapping the Jacksonville Jaguars and Indianapolis Colts game yesterday where the Jaguars absolutely dominated the Colts in a game where all they had to do was win and they're in. So let's start from the quarterback. Carson Wentz, not a good day. That's an understatement. Carson Wentz was absolutely terrible. He was horrific. Defense got to stop, right? In the second half, defense gets a stop. You get a chance to go down and maybe score a touchdown to make it a game. Get yourself back into it. Nope, couldn't do it. Threw a pick on the next play. And then there's so many times where there were so many checkdowns or there was someone open, he just overthrew it. Not accurate. There are times where there were checkdowns open, didn't throw them. Instead threw an interception or incompletion or third and out or just didn't convert. This team couldn't get yards on early downs. One of the big issues. Because Carson Wentz, he and his offensive line did not play well. This offensive line was absolutely terrible. There is no one person that is just at fault for this loss. This is entirely a team win. Coaching staff, players, defense, offense, quarterback, running back. Absolutely terrible. The Jaguars dominated the Colts in all three phases of the game. They dominated on defense, they dominated on offense, and they did pretty damn good on special teams. They just this is the low. This is the all-time low for the Colts franchise right now. And this offensive line couldn't do anything against the Jaguars front, and a front that has struggled. And a front in Josh Allen, who was the defensive end for the Jaguars, hasn't had a sack in 6 or 7 games since Buffalo. And he got like 2.5, 3 sacks on Fisher. Fisher's terrible. I don't want to see Fisher in a Colts uniform again. He's gone. He needs to be gone. Big Q didn't have a good game. Ryan Kelly didn't have a very good game. Mark Lewinsky, Chris Reed didn't have good games. Braden Smith even struggled today. The tight ends didn't do much. Wide receivers couldn't get any separation. None of that helps Carson Wentz, but Carson Wentz hasn't been playing good anyways. Carson Wentz can't lead the team. He couldn't put the team on his shoulder and say, hey, let's go. Let's go get a touchdown, one play at a time. Let's go inch back into this thing and let's make the playoffs. No. Carson Wentz cannot do that. He's not a guy that's going to put the franchise on your back. Oh, well, his touchdown interception ratio is so good. When you barely throw the ball, when you have a running back that rushes for almost 2,000 yards and scores 20 touchdowns, you're not going to have to throw it a lot. And it makes a big impact on the defense. And the times, Carson Wentz had to throw it more, we couldn't win. We just couldn't get it done. The offensive line didn't even play good down the stretch. And then you go to defense. Matt Eberflus, what is going on, dude? Why are you playing your cornerbacks like 5-10 yards off when you should be pressing a little more? I get it, you didn't have the corner, available to really do that, but you got to do something. Your scheme is not working. Your scheme is terrible. Your scheme is supposed to, give the opponents everything underneath. You're just allow them to drive down the field. And then it's supposed to be a red zone defense. This red zone defense can't stop the passing touchdowns. It cannot. And you know what else I noticed? This Colts rushing defense has not been very good either. The past few games, the Colts' time of possession wasn't even close. It's not even close. The opposing team comes out and has a 5, 6, 7 minute drive. And when the Colts don't have, time, they can't play their game. Carson Wentz has to put the game on their shoulder. They can't do anything. And then, this Jacksonville Jaguars team just absolutely dominated. Credit to them. Defensive line absolutely dominated the Colts offensive line. Cornerbacks didn't allow the Colts receivers to get any separation. None. Whatsoever. Defensive line, no pressure on Trevor Lawrence. He just stand there and have good 5, 6, 7 seconds to throw. You have Trevor Lawrence looking like Aaron Rodgers out here. I'm not saying Trevor Lawrence doesn't have the talent of Aaron Rodgers. He definitely has the talent. He's obviously the number 1 overall pick and one of the best prospects in history for a reason. He has the talent. But that was his best game of the year. That was the most points that the Jacksonville Jaguars have scored all season long. All season long. The Colts scored 11 points on this Jaguars defense. Jaguars defense, terrible. And you can't score more than 11 points. And then the only touchdown during this game came in garbage time. Basically, garbage time. It was already over. And then up front, if you go to the goal line plays, just running the ball every single time, because you don't trust Carson Wentz to make the throw. You're running the ball every single time and you still can't get it. Teams aren't scared of Carson Wentz. Teams are not scared of his ability to throw because he doesn't have the ability to be consistent when he's throwing. Teams aren't scared of that. Incredible, disgusting. It's an embarrassing game for this organization, for this whole team, for the city of Indy. Um, this is just an embarrassment. And if this is how T.Y. Hilton and Jack Doyle go out, it sucks. It sucks if that's the last moments that T.Y. Hilton is going to have in a Colts uniform and Jack Doyle. But it's what it is, you know. We move on. We're going to see what's going to happen in the offseason. Big changes are going to have to be made. All the credit in the world to the Jaguars. They played an amazing game. This team was not prepared. Frank Reich couldn't prepare this team versus the 2-14 Jaguars team versus the interim head coach. You couldn't do anything. Frank Reich cannot prepare this team on a consistent basis. Just can't. So, Chris Ballard has a lot of things, a lot to look, over this weekend or this offseason. He has a lot of work to do. Chris Ballard is an amazing GM. Amazing GM. Coaching staff from this team has to start playing the way he loves this team and puts this team together. Now, I'm not saying any of these guys are bad guys. All these players, on this team, all the coaches, general manager, they're all amazing people. But on the field, they're not in it. And the NFL's a business, and you got to move on and next man up, and you do what you got to do. So Carson Wentz has to go, even though he's not going to go this offseason. Frank Reich and Carson Wentz are probably going to get another season. So let's see what Carson wants. Let's see what he can do in the offseason. Carson is Carson. He's not going to change. If we're going to wait for him to become a great quarterback, it's not going to happen. We're going to be waiting a very long time. Right now, this franchise is stuck in neutral. Very mediocre. We're not going anywhere right now. Not anytime soon, in my opinion. So, you guys let me know what you think about this game, about this franchise moving forward, about Carson Wentz, Frank Reich moving forward. Thank you for tuning in to the JDW Sports Talk Show. This was the last recap of the 2021 NFL season. I know, no playoffs. Last recap of the year. And until next season, I'm signing off. Go Colts.